Hey gang, Kevin here, Life22. And it's Saturday. Yeah, so we're doing another reading. Now this one isn't a letter, and this one isn't an email to the court, or this one is petitions to the court that were sent. And so we're going to release one of these little docs every Friday and Saturday. I'm trying for 2 days a week. So I recorded last week's episodes, and now we're doing this week's. So, anywho, let's see here. I was reading it on a piece of paper, but petitioning the court. Probation officer believes. So anyways, before we finish this reading here, this letter was sent to me. It was saved on my computer as of November 8th, 2023. So, case 1-2022-CR-00035-JLS-HKS document 93, which I think last time was 92, right? And then filed November 3rd. So 5 days later, they were sent into the system, and they were sent to me. Oh. Okay, let's see here. So I have pages... curses. I have pages 2 through 5, which I don't think will change anything. Oh, that isn't a 17. Okay, gotcha. All right. See, I tried reading it a minute ago. I had to pull it up on the computer because of this. So, the probation officer believes that the offender has violated the following conditions of supervision. Violation number, charge 1/special condition. Nature of non-compliance. You shall not have any contact directly or indirectly, including through social media, telephone, text, mail, or email with victim RG, his family, or his current or prior places of employment, which we read in a prior letter or document to the court that RG most likely is Ryan Gary, which I believe Ryan Gary is like a prosecutor, district attorney, somebody in the state of, was it Minnesota? Michigan? One of the places. Missouri. Details. Following the defendant's release from custody for previous violation conduct involving communication with the victim RG, the defendant has continued to have indirect contact with RB, which throws me. So indirect contact with RB. I don't know what RB is, but RG we're assuming is Ryan Gary. RB must be somebody else because it's indirect contact, but with it could be a typo in the court. So, for example, on or about September 27th, 2023, the defendant posted on Twitter, "I rooted for the best Hunter Biden. I rooted for the best for Hunter Biden. I was like, quote, he wants his laptop back, close quotes, as I emotionally fought for my electronics back from Minnesota attorneys RPG and AB, JF, and PE likely never thought of taking clients' plea agreements to the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn," close quotes. On September 25th, 2023, the defendant posted on Twitter, "Mark is an N-word." So going back here, where it says that he's making this I rooted for quote. I don't know if those abbreviations are Luke on Twitter or if it is like a form of redaction by the court system or the probation office, because they call him RG, and then all of a sudden Luke, which would make sense that Luke would call somebody by their middle name, RPG, AB, and then so they're kind of like semi-redacting people's names. Likely never thought of taking clients' plea agreements to the Supreme Court. All right, and then he posted, Mark is an N-word. Not all black people are N-words, but Mark is RPG of February 2021 using a fake recon profile agrees. Okay. So, because Mark is just a first name, I'm guessing they didn't redact it. I'm assuming that they redacted the N-word and called it N-word. That's not me redacting it. That's what it says. It says N, capital N, and then space word. Every reference of it. And it wouldn't strike me as something that Luke would redact. Recon profiles agree, close quotes, and open quotes. I can tell is 800,000 plus homes $800,000 plus homes purchased in 2024 are located in the city of Minneapolis or some obscure suburb calling itself Edina. Why does Minnesota use the same zip code for two different municipalities? On September 30th, 2023, this probation officer was informed by Assistant U.S. Attorney David Rudroff that RG, I don't see a DR in there, so the probation officer was informed by the assistant. So somebody contacted the U.S., probably RG, let's see here. On September 30th, this probation officer was informed by Assistant U.S. Attorney David Rudroff that RG was recipient of a letter that was sent to him by the defendant. The letter, which is postmarked September 23rd, was addressed to Mr. Gary and signed by Katie Valentine. Although, given the context and handwriting was clearly composed by the defendant. Of further note, the same image on the letter sent by the defendant to Teeter residence was postmarked on the defendant's Twitter page on September 24th, 2023. You're so stupid. You're so dumb. Oh, my God, how dumb. So, you titled it Mr. M-I-T-H-T-E-R, Gary. Like Mr. Gary. Mr., but you spelled it like you have a learning disability. And then you signed it in the name of what I'm assuming is one of the victims. One of the multiple people that you've spouted off against. I'm surprised you didn't sign it Melissa Ensel. Although given the context and the handwriting, which you handwrite your letters, because you have to do that in jail. Because certain places won't give you a computer. Because you're a Twitter monster. You are a Twitter monster. Like, they will not give you Twitter or the means in which to get to Twitter. They will put you on a continent that you need a boat to get to Twitter, and they will not give you a boat. So unless you learn to swim. So they're going to make it very difficult for you to swim. So if, now you have to handwrite all your shit. And then you somehow... Okay, so you must have been out of... You were on probation, so you weren't in custody. I still... If you're not in custody, how are you handwriting these letters? Why? Why are you handwriting these letters? You're so dumb. Okay. So then you post the image on your Twitter. So dumb. So dumb. I can't. All right. Charge 2. The defendant shall not be in contact directly or indirectly, including social media, telephone, text, mail, or email with Brett Teeter, his family members, friends, or associates. I mean, sometimes associates can be a gray area, and I'll give Luke that as the benefit of the doubt. Details. On August 23rd, 2023, Brett Teeter, the father of Ryan Benjamin Teeter, RBT. Nope, that's not RB. We'll find this one out soon. Informed this probation officer that despite having obtained a no-contact order with the state of North Carolina on June 19th, 2023, he had continued to receive contact from the defendant. Letters were sent by the defendant to the Teeter residence, postmarked June 26th and 28th, 2023, with a return address of the defendant's name and address at Chautauqua County Jail, where he was held pending his recent violation. Mr. Teeter provided documentation of the signed no contact order and the image of the letters received to the probation office. Additionally, Mr. Teeter provided screenshots of text messages sent from the defendant to Mr. Teeter on August 14th of 2023. On the same date, this probation officer, along with the supervising U.S. probation officer, John Taberski, contacted the offender via phone and instructed him to refrain from having direct or indirect contact with Brett Teeter or anyone in his family. This directive followed by the defendant signing a waiver that the other conditions, the screenshot of this has caused it to block out. Other conditions, blank, blank, his conditions, violated, okay. I'm getting like halves of words because it says like 3 of 5 in screenshots, but it was like, oh, yeah, there was an overlay. So his conditions of supervised release. All right. Page 3. We start on page 2. The modification was ordered by Your Honor on August 30th, 2023. Following that date, the defendant posted several social media communications naming Benjamin Teeter. For example, on or about September 2nd, 2023, the defendant posted on Facebook, Benjamin Ryan Teeter, wherever you may be, stop doing the same thing I always did my whole life. Stop touching yourself to pictures of celebrities. Closed quotes. On September 3rd, 2023, the defendant posted, I met Benjamin Teeter 3 very long years ago, saying, wow, someone maybe both sides of the family tree could get along with, and it's a result in, open quotes, inside of these quotes, don't show up to Winkyville, Luke, you'll get arrested for trespassing, close quotes, and then close quotes again. On September 5th, 2023, defendant posted, open quotes, I can't play victim too hard, Benjamin Ryan Teeter. Look how clever you are. You moved his middle name to where his first name is, then making his first name his middle name. You, my friend. Like, I'm surprised you didn't study under Aristotle. You are a brilliant and flawed man. I'm waiting for the apology. Which, I mean, if you follow Plato and Aristotle, you'll get the reference there, because usually the apology is followed by when uh, capital punishment. There it is. Yeah, that's in a society where capital punishment is acceptable. That's when the apology that Plato wrote about of Socrates, his teacher. When Socrates and Aristotle and Plato, when Plato wrote about Socrates' apology, it was because he was being put to death. Like, and it was a very, very good apology and a rationale, but our friend Luke is not. So let's see here. He's so dumb. I can't blame victim too hard. All he wanted to do was go to war. I was not in war mode as hard as he was. I said fixed furnaces in Olean. He chose Hamas entrapment. He never called me. He lied about having a kid trying to get me to shut up. On September 21st, that was a close quote. On September 21st, 2023, the defendant posted, posted. There's no quotes on this, but it's all capital. This is what Benjamin Ryan Teeter is into, what I doggone fucking shame he's using a different name on his WITSEC ATM card these days, close quote. They put the close quote. Why would you put the close quote? Grammatical errors on the behalf of the probation office. On September 26th of 2023, the defendant posted, open quotes, me and Benjamin Teeter's 3-year-long personal situation depicted properly in the visual representation. Open bracket. The following media includes potentially sensitive content. There's no close bracket. Just a close quote. On September 27th, 2023, the defendant posted BRT, which is Benjamin Ryan Teeter, because he got his name goofed up. Arrival can be made in secrecy if that's what it takes. Whoosh goes the X profile, and it's mindless bantering posts if that happens. I don't care, close quotes. So you're just going to scream online like an obnoxious ex-girlfriend. A crazy bitch. Crazy bitch. So you're going to do this in hopes that he takes you back? Like, this also goes out there for all the crazy bitches out there that think that this is actually like how you should treat a human being. On September 28th, 2023, the defendant posted, open quotes, the interstellar safety of the American regime depends on the Montana double proxy marriage of me and Benjamin Ryan Teeter from the George Floyd ordeal, close quotes. And attention federal enthusiasts watching me on here, I refuse to help out the at Space Force capital D, just at Space Force DOD. Oh, Department of Justice. Space Force Department of Justice. Or Department of Defense. Sorry. Unless, and then in all capitals, Benjamin Ryan Teeter wants to as well. And we both get Montana double proxied into being together. America's place on Earth suddenly at stake due to Spartan homosexual urges at play. Period, close quotes. I feel like I'm wrapping all of you into feeling what it's like to be this poor probation officer that has to read all this shit and then decipher it and then say, this is a violation of your parole. And he has to do this probably every minute of the day that Luke is free. And he has other charges to deal with, not just Lucas. I don't even know if, yeah, I think Lucas is, I think this is, anyways. All right. On September 30th, 2023, this probation officer, sorry, buddy, was again contacted by Brett Teeter, who provided an image of mail sent to him by the defendant, which was postmarked on September 23rd, 2023. This letter is addressed to Das Teters, which means the Teters in German, right? Das Boot, the boot, yeah, right, yeah. And signed by Katie Valentine. Wow, this chick just writing letters. This one right there, Katie Valentine. Don't write them letters. Although, given the context and handwriting was clearly composed by the defendant. On further note, the same image of the letter was sent by the defendant to the Teeter's residence, was posted on the defendant's Twitter page on September 24th, 2023. You are so stupid. Stop taking pictures and posting them on your Twitter. How would you have done it? If you're claiming, as soon as you claim, if I was this probation officer and I said, hey, Luke, did you send this letter to this guy? And you said, no, I didn't, sir. No. Well, guess what? Then if you didn't, you opened his mail from this Katie Valentine, which is a violation of federal mail fraud. Like, you are not supposed, I don't know if mail fraud, I don't think it would be fraud. Well, I think the fact that you're signing letters from other people and sending them to them, there's forgery, like there's a ton of other fucking, like, why are they not hitting you with that? You are so stupid. And then I would still get you for opening somebody else's mail because you denied it in the first place, and they might throw it out, but they're going to hit you with a shit ton of forgery and document and like it, I think it's mail fraud at that point, because you're actually defrauding the mail by posting to somebody else. You're posing to somebody else and mailing stuff. I mean, it's mail fraud when you send drugs through the mail. Like, you're defrauding the mail service, and it's a federally, I don't know if it's not federally run, but they're funded by the federal government, so they have this like weird, anyways. So stupid. Charge number 3. / conditions. The defendant shall not have any contact directly or indirectly through social media, text message, mail, or email with Katie Valentine, her family members, friends, or associates. Now it's time to hear from the lady who's been signing all the letters to the Teters. The Teters. Details. On August 28th, 2023, this probation officer received a phone call from Katie Valentine, a former long-term friend of the defendant. Miss Valentine explained that beginning with his arrest for the instant offense, she expressed to the defendant her desire to end their friendship and therefore any contact. But she has continued to receive unsolicited and unwanted correspondence from him. Oh, you say? Oh, do you? Luke didn't want you to end his friendship with him? I just inferred that we kind of weren't friends, and he stopped sending me letters like that moment. Didn't even mention me in a Facebook. Oh, wait. 4 years later, here we are. Welcome. Welcome. Anyways. Therefore, let's see here. She has expressed the defendant's desire, and she has continued to receive unsolicited correspondence from him. The aforementioned contact has escalated as of late, and Miss Valentine is now fearful of the defendant. How would she come up with that? That's a bridge too far. A bridge too far. No, it's pretty par for the course here, Luke. You are the Happy Gilmore of insane asylum like recipients, except you're not trying to defend your grandma. You're trying to like sleep with other people's. It's getting a little creepy. But we do know that you eat pieces of shit for breakfast, so let's see. She has provided screenshots to the probation office and is reportedly navigating the process of obtaining an order of protection against the defendant. This probation officer directed the defendant to report to the probation office on August 30th of 2023, at which time he was directed to cease contact. Oh, okay, so he directed the defendant to report to the probation office on August 30th, 2023. So 2 days after she contacted him, he was reported, at which time he was directed, he was directed to cease contact with Miss Valentine. On or about September 26th, the defendant posted on Twitter, if he's in custody, at which point, I'm not sure at what point he was in custody, but Katie's Kashan Cash, the bottom of it's cut off. Kashan sugar daddies will now, for all the cheese and cracker trays, Katie, work if I spell it. Oh, okay, I see. Cash App. That's the word. That's the word we're looking for. Katie's Cash App sugar daddies will pay for all the cheese and cracker trays. Katie ... O apostrophe quirk QWERK. If I spell it that way from the electronic device, holy shit, it's yet another federal law conundrum worth debating in John Sinatra and Michael J. Davis's national courtroom. Close quotes. Katie Valentine's maiden name is Quirk. And this is in quotes. QUIRK. Close quotes. This probation officer has been in consistent contact with Miss Valentine since the last modification of the defendant's conditions on October 30th, 2023, and has been informed by her and her mental health, that her mental health has been greatly affected by the defendant's conduct on social media. I want to say our entire city of Olean has been greatly affected by Luke's content on social media, and we strive very hard in this community to try to keep our shit together. Because Luke is very taxing. He's more taxing than our property taxes. Some of us, it weighs greatly as we try to hold the rest of our world together. Anyways, page 4. Other relevant information for the court's consideration. In addition to the violation detailed throughout this petition, the defendant has posted several flippant comments on social media that illustrate he is not committed to addressing his issues responsibly in mental health treatment. On or about August 30th, the defendant posted on Facebook, 3 days a week, 70 miles north and back, I still feel owed and wronged. Nobody will slam a gavel at me and tell me how to feel. Close quotes. Open quotes. ... This is not a mental health issue. This is an, all capitals, I am sick of feeling disrespected. Back to normal text. Issue. Period. Shame on them for doing 5 different jails and prisons over a 1.5-year period for an email fight with a stranger I never met. Close quotes. On September 1st, 2023, the defendant posted on Facebook, in all capitals for the first word, "This is mediation. ... Meditation is not driving 1.5. There's misspelling there. Anyways. So mediation and then meditation is not driving 1.5 hours north just to sit at a conference table and listen to ocean waves on a speaker for 3 minutes with your eyes closed, and then open your eyes back and talk about CBT. I'm guessing the CBT was somebody. No, so okay, so maybe I am wrong. Maybe part of it is probably Luke being clever and trying to use abbreviations and initials. So something. So probably Brett's middle name starts with a C, so it's something Brett Teeter, which is the father of Ryan Benjamin Teeter. This shit. I shouldn't have to know these people's names. No strides made today in curing borderline personality traits and, close quotes, and, open quotes, CBT in mental health words means cognitive behavioral therapy. Oh, close your eyes and talk about cognitive, or for what people with trauma go through to cure the trauma. CBT in fetish world means cock ball torture. CBT used to be a sentence Benjamin Ryan Teeter, and then it says in parentheses, see charge 2, needs CBT for consciously choosing working for Hamas over fixing furnaces in Olean 3 years ago, and he needs CBT for leading me astray so hard 3 years later I have to make 340-mile round trips per week to learn about CBT. And that's in close quotes and open quotes, it's just rude mandating I drive up to Buffalo 3 times a week. A borderline personality traits, open quotes, diagnosis, close quotes. I'm happy it's September because 2024 will come soon enough, and I'm going to finish this off my way, close quotes. That sounds like a direct quote threat, but it's hard to say with Luke because I don't think he knows what he's saying. I think that words pop, like, I say what's on the top of my mind a lot. But I still do this thing called discrimination, right? I discriminate against thoughts that I don't think should be just vomited out into the world. And I don't think Luke has the tact that I have, which is very strange coming from me. So anyways, supplemental charge. Charge number 4. The defendant shall not or have any contact directly or indirectly, including through social media, telephone, text, mail, or email with Brett Teeter, his family members, friends, or associates. Details. On or about October 25th, 2023, Brett Teeter received a written letter to his residence addressed to him from the defendant, who is and was, at the time, detained on this violation for similar conduct. This letter was postmarked on October 20th, 2023, and had a return address of Luke Winkie, 301 Court Street, Little Valley, New York, 14755, Cattaraugus County Jail. Handwriting contained within the context of this letter is recognizable to this probation officer as similar to that of previous communications authored by the defendant. Additional supplemental charge. Charge number 5. The defendant shall not have contact or directly or indirectly, including through social media, phone call, telephone, text, mail, or email with Brett Teeter, his family members, or associates. Details: on or about October 31st, 2023, Teeter received a written letter at his residence to Lauren Ashley Teeter, Brett Teeter's wife, from the defendant, who is and was at the time detained on this violation for similar conduct. This letter was postmarked on October 27th, 2023, and had a return address of Luke Winkie, 301 Court Street, Little Valley, New York, 14755, open parentheses, also stamped Cattaraugus County Jail, closed parentheses. The handwriting contained within the context of the letter are recognizable to this probation officer as similar to that of previous communications authored by the defendant. We're on page 5. Oh, there's not much to it. I declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct. Executed on November 3rd, 2023. Signed by, and then there's a signature. I'm guessing that is the probation officer, which I wouldn't manner to guess the guy's name. So, thanks for watching, guys. That was the most recent one we have for you, and it'll be debuting tonight. Catch you next time, Life22.